Let's talk a little bit about data reduction technologies. Primarily when we talk about data reduction, we're really referring to three types of data reduction technologies. That's data compression, which is actual squeezing of the data in the subsystem. Data deduplication, which is the elimination of redundant data blocks in the subsystem. And then thin provisioning, which is kind of cheating the system, telling the user he's actually gotten more than he does, but only allocating data when it's actually written to the device itself. So most systems do provide some level of data reduction. Many of the systems today provide thin provisioning by default. And more of the subsystems are delivering data compression. But the most difficult one to deliver in primary storage is data deduplication. The reason for that is because there's got to be a lot of processing that gets done to analyze the data blocks and to make a determination in real time, do I have a copy of that data? And if so, I won't make another copy or I won't store another copy of that data. I'll just discard this redundant piece and make an annotation that I've seen this before. In data reduction, data compression rather, I'm actually squeezing that data as it comes inbound to the system. And both of these technologies, as you might expect, provide levels of resource advancement, if you will, because if I'm more efficient with the capacity that I have through data reduction technologies, then the existing resources I have will be able to last longer. I'll be able to defer that future purchase. I'll be able to have a better management of my data resource because I've actually got a smaller data footprint. So simpler to manage, deferred resources, less clutter, faster backups. These are all the types of things that are delivered through data reduction. Thin provisioning, of course, says, chances are you've got a user that comes in and says, well, I'm setting up this new database. I need a couple hundred gig. All right, we know this guy. He's come in. He's asked for this type of thing before. I'm going to give him 100 gig, but in reality, I'm only going to give him 25 gig. And then you'll set some parameters that says as soon as I hit 20 gig or maybe 80% of my threshold, it will warn me to give him more and more and more. But thin provisioning will only write as data is written to that volume. That's when it allocates the space. So you can basically over-provision your storage, much like the airlines do with our seats. You get to the airport and they've oversold seats. That's what thin provisioning allows you to do, is basically over-provision your storage to tell the user he has more than he really does have. So he can get on about his business. Meanwhile, you're not losing control of the management of your infrastructure.
Please visit us at cimasg.com